Hello, I'm Sarah Ditchfield, the founder of Candle by Events, the candle making experience company. Today I'm going to show you how to make a project in my book, Making Candles, published by Search Press. And the project we're going to make today is floating maple leaf candles, which can be found on page 52 of the book, and the end result will look like this. Okay, so for this project you'll need the following items: a maple leaf mould, 150 grams of soya wax, 6 tea light wicks, green candle dye, or if you do not have candle dye you can also use a green wax crayon, a double boiler, a metal jug, some kitchen scales, a pair of scissors, a metal spoon, and a cook's thermometer. So I'm going to take you through step by step the process to make the candles. The first thing you need to do is to melt your wax, and to do this you need to do it in a double boiler. So a double boiler is a bain-marie similar to melting chocolate, where you have two pans. The first pan you put hot water in and bring it to simmering point. You then put another pan on top and you place your wax in the top pan. So if I adjust my camera for you here, I'm going to pour in now 150 grams of soy pillar wax. I'll place my thermometer in here too so I can measure the temperature of the wax whilst it starts to melt. I'm going to take the thermometer out, just adjust the camera. So the wax has now melted to 70 degrees. So I'm going to turn the hob off and I'm going to take my thermometer out. And I find it easier to decant into another jug, but if not, you could always still use the double boiler. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to decant my melted wax into my jug here. There we are. I'm just going to move my hob out of it. So now you can see we've got the melted wax in here. So now we're going to add the candle dye. So as I said, I've actually got specific candle dye. I've got these little diamonds, which is wax with intense candle dye added to it. But if you don't have this, you can always use an old crayon. The colours are slightly more muted than the pure candle dye, but they work fine. Because I want to have different toned shades of this green, I'm going to just break off a tiny piece, about that big, so just a little tip of the diamond, and I'm going to put it into my wax. And then with my spoon, I'm going to give it a little stir as it starts to dissolve. So if I hold this up to the camera, hopefully you can see the wax is starting to dissolve. So just give it a little stir whilst it dissolves. So I'm now going to take my candle mould tray and I'm going to fill the first two cavities with my hot wax. Pouring gently right to the top. There we are. And then with my tea light wicks, I'm going to place the wick in the centre of the mould. Sometimes they bob about a bit, but as the wax starts to set, you can straighten them up. There we are. Okay. I'm going to now take the remainder of that first diamond of colour and I'm going to place it into the melted wax, the rest of the melted wax, because we want to slowly build up a darker colour. And with my spoon, I'll give it a stir until it dissolves. So the next batch of candle dye has now dissolved, so I'm now going to fill the next two cavities. As you can see, the candle dye has dissolved and the wax is slightly darker in colour. And as before, I'm going to put a wick in the centre of both of these candles. And then with the remaining candle dye that I've got left over, I'm going to put the last bit into my container and let that dissolve. If you find the wax has cooled a little bit, you can always put the wax back into the double boiler and warm it up. So the final batch is now dissolved, so I'm just going to fill the last two cavities with green. And as before, I'm going to put the wick in the centre. There we are. We will now leave these to set. So you can see the candles are now starting to set, so I'm going to let these set fully and we will then release them from the mould, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. Good morning. So I've let the candles set overnight and now I'm going to show you how to release them from the candle mould. I just adjust the camera down here. So you can see here they've set, and the lovely thing is you've got the graduation of different colours or different tones of the green. So with these trays, I find the easiest way is just to push the bottom slightly. You almost feel it like do a little plop, and they should come out. So there we are, there's one, two, three, and a second row. So they've come out beautifully. So the best way to burn floating candles is to put in a nice pretty shallow bowl even, and then put some water in, and then you just place them very gently into the water and they bob about and they look really pretty. Look very nice for a dinner table. And the nice thing is you don't have a big candelabra in front of you trying to see the person in front of you. They make some lovely low lighting for a dinner party. Here we are, here's some floating candles bobbing around in a small shallow bowl. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learning how to make these pretty floating candles. You can purchase the book Making Candles through Search Press. If you would like to find out more about candle making, we run many workshops, from face-to-face workshops for individuals, corporate events, hen parties, and we also sell kits. So if you have a look at our website, candlebyevents.co.uk, you can find out lots more information about all our workshops, from the face-to-face workshops to our kits and online videos.